Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elz and today I'm going to read you my screenplay. Yeah, I want to make it really clear that there will be swearing in this video, inappropriate adult jokes, etc. because I'm going to read you my rom-com script from the start to the end. So naturally there's going to be some adult themes, so you have been warned. This video I'm going to read my screenplay. I am going to have the script on screen as well so you can read along with it too if you like that sort of thing. At the end I'll discuss the characters, the themes, the casting and stuff like that, but obviously I don't want to spoil anything before you hear the actual story. Just to say as well, I'm not Delulu. I do know that the chances of this being made are extremely slim. However, if you do like it, please give this video a like, leave a comment down below saying, yeah, this should be made into a film, I would watch it. And then hopefully one day it will fall into the right hands and I can actually get it seen by someone who loves the classic old rom-com like I do. This screenplay is essentially my love letter to the British rom-coms that raised me. So things like Bridget Jones, Notting Hill and About Time. It has been naturally inspired by those things because those are the things that I enjoy. So I hope that you enjoy mine. The title is Plane Train Never Spoke to Me Again, which I think it's really funny. And the logline, so a kind of brief summary of it without spoilers. Convinced she'd finally experienced her meet cute, a woman and her friends question why he left her at the station. I am going to now read you the script. I am no actress. I will do my best for you, but this is more like a read through. Plane Train Never Spoke to Me Again by Ellie Smart. We open with titles overlaying a scenic outdoor Florida. Exterior Florida, modern day, daytime. An upbeat soundtrack plays Close to Me by The Cure as we cut between our two main characters' mornings. Interior airport entrance. Tristan, 30s, at the airport, finding his way calmly. He's showered, relaxed, and well organised. Cut to interior messy hotel room. Daisy, also in her 30s, is still asleep. Cut to Tristan submitting his luggage politely. Cut to Daisy snoozing one of many alarms. Cut to Tristan as he sits with a coffee in the airport. Cut to Daisy. She gets a call. Daisy. Yeah, I'm already at the gate. She bolts up, sniffs her armpits, and decides to stay in the t-shirt that she slept in. Cut to Tristan walking through the airport with large headphones on, making his way to the gate. Cut to Daisy. She sits on an overloading suitcase in an attempt to zip it shut. Cut to Tristan sits at the gate and pulls out his boarding pass from a sleek black carry-on front pocket. Cut to Daisy, rushing through the airport. Cut to Tristan, he heads to the queue to board the plane. Daisy arrives behind him on the final call. The intro music stops as Tristan turns around as Daisy joins the queue behind him. Her wired headphones are tangled. She's carrying a bursting tote bag. Tristan stares at Daisy's chest and looks up. She double takes at him. He's innocently reading her music-themed t-shirt. It's Sabrina Carpenter and it reads, "A little respect for women can get you very, very far." As they catch eyes, he panics. Tristan, sorry, I wasn't looking at I was reading your t-shirt. Daisy smiles awkwardly and before she can reply, Tristan raises his fist in solidarity. Tristan, feminism. Daisy, it's your turn. Daisy points to the boarding queue. Tristan grabs his bag and shuffles through with his boarding pass ready. In the background, Daisy is rifling through her tote bag to find her crumpled boarding pass that she attempts to flatten before handing it to the staff member. Cut to interior plane. Over the speakers, we hear an announcement as people take their seats. Crew announcer over tannoy. "A note to passengers, we have someone on this plane with a nut allergy. Please be considerate of others and do not eat or open any food that may contain nuts. Thank you and have a great flight." Tristan is in a middle seat. He puts his Snickers into his backpack from his fold-down table that he's already prepared with a bottle of water and a book. Daisy starts putting her tote bag overhead. We believe she's sitting in the aisle seat next to him when a mother approaches. Mother on plane to Tristan. "Excuse me, my daughter's in that window seat. Do you mind switching with me so I can sit with her?" Disappointment flashes over Tristan's face as he glances at Daisy, who is unaware. He packs his book and his water into his bag. Tristan, Sure, no problem. Let me just..." Mother on the plane. "Oh, thank you ever so much." Tristan grabs his bag and moves to a new seat, directed by the mother. Tristan sits in an aisle seat a few rows behind Daisy. He sits with his water and his book on the fold-out table. She is watching Shrek, listening to music. Daisy laughs at her screen. Tristan peers up from his book. Throughout the flight, Tristan gets distracted by her inviting random seats to play in-flight games with her. Tristan puts his big headphones back on and drifts to sleep. As we fade to black. Interior plane, landed in London, daytime. Tristan wakes up on the landed plane. Passengers hustle off the flight and Tristan waits patiently. He walks past Daisy's seat and recognises her bulging tote bag is still overhead. He picks it up and walks with purpose off the flight. He is about to speak to a staff member when he spots Daisy through the crowd. She takes down her hair as he approaches. Daisy raises her head and sees him holding out the tote bag. She lets out a sigh of relief/gasp as she didn't even notice she'd left it. She is off and away with the fairies. Daisy: this tote bag contains some of America's most valuable items. You've saved my reputation as an auntie. My nephew wouldn't forgive me if I didn't return with an I Heart NY t-shirt. Tristan: but we came from Orlando. Daisy: yeah? Daisy goes through the tote bag to check it's all there. Glimpses of silly little trinkets. A snow globe, hat, magnet, a Statue of Liberty figurine. Daisy: thank God it's all there, and the snow globe survived. Thank you. She holds out the snow globe, presenting it in its pristine condition. Tristan: no worries. Tristan goes to walk off but hesitates. Tristan: also, I love Sabrina Carpenter. I'm sorry about what I said before. The whole feminism thing will haunt me forever. Daisy: what feminism thing? Tristan: you know, before when I was... Daisy smiles. Tristan realises she's implying that she forgot it already, and with a look of relief, Tristan holds his hand to his chest and then out to shake. Tristan. Daisy stands. Daisy. Daisy. Don't let it keep you up at night. As she walks away, over her shoulder, the girlies love a feminist. Daisy walks away and leaves Tristan smiling. Interior, baggage claim. Lots of dull suitcases spin around the conveyor belt. A bright purple celestial suitcase comes battering around. It's obviously Daisy's. Daisy attempts to pull it off the belt, but doesn't manage to pull it off in time. It has an overweight baggage label attached to it. As it comes back around, Tristan makes his way over to help. Daisy notices he's coming to help. Daisy: thanks. Tristan grabs the case, but as he pulls it, he realises it's incredibly heavy. Tristan, under his breath: Christ. He drags it pathetically off the belt, panting. Daisy: my hero. Tristan is distracted as his bag moves past them. Tristan: damn, that was mine. Daisy turns to see the case. She begins to move past people, excusing herself and doing a small jog towards it. Tristan: don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. No, okay. Daisy manages to grab his bag. Proud of herself, with a beaming grin, she rolls it back over to him. Tristan lifts his fist. Tristan: feminism. They both laugh and lift the handles on their cases. They signal that they're both walking the same way through the airport. Tristan: so, you're bringing back a bag of treasures? I'm assuming you're coming from holiday? Daisy: a wedding. My friend moved out there a few years ago after meeting the love of her life on a girls' trip. Ironic, really, to meet a guy on a girls' trip. She's been over there ever since. What about you, work or pleasure? Tristan: I lived out in the US for a while for work, but decided to move back to London. Who wouldn't miss this? Tristan spreads his arms as the automatic doors open to reveal horrible weather outside of the airport. Tristan: I feel like Dorothy. Daisy: and now for the yellow brick road. Cut to exterior, horrendous rain. The couple realise every taxi is taken. Daisy: tube? Tristan: where are you heading? Daisy: East London. Tristan opens his umbrella, hands it to her, and grabs her case to roll along. It's a bit of a struggle because it's heavy, but he hides it well. Tristan: let's do this. Cut to the couple run onto a train together. They sit and carry on chatting. Tristan opens his bag and pulls out the Snickers from earlier. Tristan: finally, I can eat. It was my plain snack, but there's always someone with a bloody allergy. Daisy: it's me. I have the allergy. Tristan stops, mortified, and stutters. Tristan: I didn't, Daisy: I'm totally joking. Tristan sighs in relief, and they both laugh as he opens it. Tristan: a guy in my class at school had a reaction once. His face swelled up so bad, he looked like when they get gassed in the Hunger Games, and I freaked out completely. So I do care, but I also care about snacks. Tristan snaps it in half and presents it to her, offering to share. Daisy: no thanks. I hardly know you. It might be laced with drugs. Tristan: who in their right mind would drug someone with a Snickers? Daisy: nobody in their right mind would drug anybody. But you're at least trying to poison me because Snickers is the worst part of a box of celebrations. Tristan, outraged: wrong. Everyone knows that bounties are the ones left knocking around. You can't shift them. The train comes to a station. Daisy shoots out of her seat. Daisy: oh shit, this is me. They rush to grab their cases. Tristan drags her case onto the platform and makes sure she doesn't forget her tote bag. He grabs his case too. They stand on the platform and exchange a look. Daisy: do you maybe want to... Tristan, cutting her off: well, it's been great travelling with you. Tristan grabs Daisy's hand and kisses it. Tristan: Daisy, have a beautiful life. Quick cut to interior pub evening. Daisy. He grabbed his case and walked off. The camera reveals a table of friends she's relayed the story to. The gifts from Daisy's tote bag are now in front of each friend. Estelle has the snow globe, one is wearing the hat. Dolly. What? Johnny. You're joshing, right? Estelle. Didn't you go after him? Daisy. Oh yeah, that wouldn't have been desperate at all. Dolly. It's humiliating enough of being abandoned on the platform. Daisy. Surely I didn't read the vibes wrong. Johnny. Was he gay? Estelle. He did love Sabrina Carpenter. Zoe. Who doesn't love Sabrina Carpenter? Estelle. Married? Dolly. Maybe he, like lots of men, failed to identify the most perfect meet cute there ever was. Whatever happened to the art of organically meeting someone in person? Daisy. I was worried he'd got a bit too close and realised I hadn't brushed my teeth, but after that many hours on a flight, who has time for that? Dolly. Well, dim, gay, or married, it's clearly his loss. Daisy. What about you, Est? How's Daniel? Estelle. He didn't leave her. A sigh of knowing that would happen sweeps the table as they wait for the latest explanation. Estelle. But he said it was because George has a really important parents' evening this week that he wants to go to as a family without an atmosphere, so he's promised by next week she'll know that he wants a divorce. But Dan did say that we'll go to Paris for the weekend after, so a little getaway together. A slightly awkward pause from the table as they struggle to get excited about more false promises. Johnny. We need to plan your outfits. Estelle's phone pings twice. She pulls it out and starts reading to herself, clearly distracted. Estelle. Oh, that's him now. He's managed to get away. Must go. Love, love, love. She blows kisses to them all, grabs her bag and totters out of the pub, excited. The table waits for a moment in silence before Dolly turns and leans into the table. I don't like it. Zoe. What can we do? We've tried the intervention. She didn't speak to us for 3 weeks. Johnny. We'll be here when she needs us. Until then, we support, we help, we wait. Just like you did with me and Phil. Daisy. Bug killer Phil. Johnny. What? Daisy. Dolly. Is it time? Dolly. It's time we tell you. Dolly looks to Johnny excited. Daisy. Bug killer Phil. The nickname we bestowed onto him. Johnny. I never thought you had one. Dolly. You see, you can tell a lot about someone by how they treat animals. Daisy, excitedly talking over Dolly. Phil was the type of guy who would kill bugs. Dolly. But he'd kill them outside when he's in their house. Daisy. Let alone inside in his house. Johnny. You know what? That tracks. Daisy. Yep. Glad he's a goner. Johnny. Do you have a nickname for Steve? Dolly. No, we love Steve. Zoe. Why don't you bring him around us more? Johnny. There's nothing worse than a breakup after you've integrated someone into the group. I like having you guys be mine and only mine. You're my best friends. I love coming out and speaking about him. You've met him enough times that you know what he's like, but not too much that you could ever be on his side about anything. Daisy. Never. We're always on your side. Dolly. Hold on. So how was America? How was the wedding? Daisy. More action on the journey home, to be fair. 4 weeks later. Interior, barn, bar venue, evening. Country and western night. A packed, decorated barn venue is filled with people dressed on theme with line dancing and country music playing. Daisy enters the bar dressed as sexy Kenny Rogers. Full beard, handmade cowboy hat with the names of references to his famous songs, The Gambler and things like that. She approaches the table of her friends, Estelle and Johnny. Daisy, hello. Estelle, Daisy, your outfit is even more iconic than the inspo you showed me. Daisy, where the fuck is Dolly? Johnny, literally. Daisy hugs them both and takes a seat. There's already cocktails in jugs and glasses waiting. Daisy. Oh my God, is that you, Johnny? Johnny Cash. Johnny's outfit is cowboy themed, but has money printed all over it as a play on Johnny Cash. Estelle is dressed as a cowgirl Barbie from the Barbie movie. Johnny. Yes, I knew you'd get it. I wanted to avoid looking like it's fun to stay at the YMCA, and then it hit me. Cash. I actually invited Steve to come with me as the burning ring of fire, but I know he hates country music, so he'd never do it. Estelle, how can you hate this? This is going to be the best night. You will lime dance with me, won't you, Daisy? I won't. Mostly because I have no idea what lime dancing is, but I will be line dancing, yeah. They all laugh. Estelle, where's Zoe, by the way? She's the one who loves country music. Johnny, she couldn't get a blooming babysitter, and her fuckwit of an ex wouldn't have the kids. Daisy and Estelle, classic fuckwit. They all take a sip of their drink, an ongoing private joke. Daisy, how'd the interview go? Tell me everything and don't leave out a single detail. Estelle, well, I chose the middle slot because you don't want to be in the morning because they'll hate you. You don't want to be before home time because they'll be thinking about the bus or what's for tea. So my theory was to go just after lunch when they're full and happy. Daisy, wise. Estelle, long story short, it was an absolute bin fire. Johnny, no. Estelle, it started well, as these things often do before they become a total car crash. Daisy and Johnny, a car crash? A car crash killed Lily and James Potter? They smile, pleased with themselves that they quoted it at the same time, and then turned back to lock into the story. Estelle, it went so well they offered me the position. Johnny, wait, so what's the problem? Estelle, when I asked the salary, they said it was an unpaid internship. I audibly gasped in their faces. Everyone wants something for nothing these days. Johnny, the cheek of it. Daisy, well, we can celebrate how good you look tonight instead. Johnny, well, good on you for telling them where to stick it. And we see Daisy's attention pull to look around as the song changes. She glances towards the bar where she realises Tristan is there, stood at the bar with his best friend. Daisy, don't make it obvious, but that guy I told you about? Estelle, huh? Daisy, oh, come on, I'm not exactly spoilt for choice. My one male encounter this year. Estelle, Plain Train Never Spoke to You Again guy. Daisy, yes, that one. He's here. Johnny swivels his head dramatically. Here, now, where? Daisy grabs Johnny's shoulder to snap him back from making it obvious. Daisy, that's him at the bar? Not the one in red, the other one. Johnny, is he the cowboy from Toy Story? Tristan is dressed in a last-minute version of a Woody costume. He hasn't prepared much for the night, likely brought the costume overnight on next day delivery. It has creases from being packaged and not ironed. Estelle, you have to go and talk to him. Johnny nods encouragingly. Daisy, what? Johnny, oh, absolutely. Daisy, what happened to it's his loss? Must be dim if he can't understand a meet cute. Johnny, well, that was before. Estelle, you really did undersell how much he looks like 90s Tom Hanks. You never give up that easily on a 90s Tom Hanks. Daisy, I won't. Will I? What would I even say? Hi, I'm the girl on the train. Johnny, definitely don't say that. He'll think you're an emotionally unstable alcoholic. Dolly arrives late and starts taking off her coat to join them at the table. Removing her coat, she reveals her costume. Dolly Parton. Dolly, who's an emotionally unstable alcoholic? Daisy jumps up from her seat and grabs her hand. Daisy, thank God you're here. Daisy drags her best friend to the toilet where they can chat in peace. They walk through the bar. Tristan double takes and half recognises her as she bolts past with her head down. Interior, ladies' bathroom. Women come in and out of the bathroom. They check their hair and drink from bottles that they've snuck in from their bags. Lots of them are dressed as different versions of Dolly Parton. Dolly, oh, so it's you. You're the unstable alcoholic. Daisy, yeah, but we knew that already. No, this is a code red. Dolly, you shit yourself. Daisy, a code blue then. Dolly, why didn't you say so? Dolly rifles through her rhinestone guitar-shaped bag and pulls out a tampon for Daisy. Daisy, surely that would be the code red. Never mind. The guy from the plane and the train is out there. Dolly, but he never spoke to you again. Daisy, yes, I know. Dolly, why is he out there? Daisy, fate, a sick joke. I don't know, but the Chuckle Brothers keep telling me to talk to him, but I can't decide if it's for me or for their own entertainment, so I need you. Tell me what to do. Dolly, deadpan. Fuck that guy. Daisy, what? Dolly, fuck him. Daisy raises her eyebrows. Dolly, he bolted. He doesn't deserve you. Daisy, oh, I thought you meant fuck him. Dolly, if that's what you thought I meant, then we both know you're going to talk to him. So what are you going to say? Daisy turns to look at herself in the mirror. Daisy, I don't know. He's out there, he's with a friend, and I'm dressed as Kenny fucking Rogers. Dolly, yeah, so take the gamble and get out there. If he doesn't want you at your Kenny, he doesn't deserve you at your Dolly. Daisy looks at herself in the mirror in full Kenny beard. Daisy, can I make this any better? Dolly, do you want to switch outfits? I will give you the shirt off my back and the tits off my chest. Dolly starts unravelling her Dolly Parton fake boobs. Daisy, I can't. Dolly, no, really, I get to be Dolly every day. You can be her tonight. Daisy, no, I can't. I only did my makeup to above my beard. Dolly stops undressing, takes a deep breath, looking at her best friend in crisis. Dolly, then you've got to commit to it. Be Kenny. We go out there, we walk to the bar, I'll laugh really loudly at something you said, we casually bump into them, you catch his eye, I'll handle the friend, okay? Daisy, okay. Dolly, game face on, tits up, let's go, Kenny. A random girl from the bathroom opens the door to let them go out first. Bathroom girl, good luck. Daisy smiles. Dolly gives her a thumbs up as they walk into the bar venue. Interior, Barn bar venue. People are line dancing. Daisy and Dolly walk over to the bar and wait to order drinks. Dolly, which one is he? Daisy scans the room and the dance floor, but her heart sinks. Daisy, he's gone. Dolly, bollocks. Let's get a drink. They both turn to the bar. Dolly to bartender. A Diet Coke and a Mango Collins, please. Dolly turns back to look at the table. Dolly, what did this guy look like? Dolly looks over Daisy's shoulder and attempts to conceal her panic. Daisy, 90s Tom Hanks, but dressed as Poundland Woody. Dolly, don't freak out. Daisy, saying don't freak out makes me freak out. Dolly, your Poundland Woody is sat at our table. Daisy turns and through the dancing cowboys sees the reveal of Tristan and his friend sat down with Johnny and Estelle. They're all laughing and chatting. Daisy snaps back around to Dolly. Daisy, I can't breathe right now. Dolly, all right, Kenny, keep your beard on. We can do this. Same plan, just now with drinks and emotional support. Dolly passes her Diet Coke, links her arm, and they start walking over to the chatting table. As they approach, Tristan looks straight at Daisy. Estelle, hey girls, meet Max and his friend Tristan. Dolly, hi guys, this looks very cozy. Johnny signals Daisy to sit by him. Johnny, Daisy. As Daisy and Dolly sit back at the table, Johnny leans into Daisy, Johnny whispering, I swear, his mate came over to chat up Estelle and the next thing I know, they're sat here. They smoothly return to chatting to the table. Tristan, so it is you under there, Daisy. Kenny, right? Estelle, how do you two know each other? Tristan, we met on the way back from America. Estelle, oh, Daisy didn't mention it. Daisy, he's the reason I made it home with your snow globe, Est. Tristan, she's the reason I got my suitcase from the conveyor belt. They exchange a smile across the room, but the conversation stops briefly. Estelle, it's Max's birthday. Tristan, you've told them it's your birthday. Max, because it is. Tristan, excuse him, he has a complex because his birthday is on Christmas Eve. No one has time to celebrate his birthday on his actual birthday, so he chooses a day every year to assign as his birthday. Apparently, today is that day. Estelle, it's like the Queen. Everyone looks puzzled. Estelle, Queen Elizabeth II? She was born in April, but always celebrated in June. Happy birthday. Max, finally, someone who respects that the birthday boy is always right. Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus starts to play and people flood the dance floor to line dance. Estelle, it's Billy Ray. Max, my lady, may I have this dance? Estelle, Estelle looks to her friends for backup or for help out of the situation. Johnny leans over her, looks at Max. Johnny, she'd love to. Estelle reluctantly jumps up with Max and heads to the dance floor. Dolly looks over at Johnny. Dolly, it's me and you, baby. They both get up and head to join. Johnny, here's Johnny. Tristan gets up to sit by Daisy. They sit beside each other and you can feel the tension. Tristan, Daisy. She turns to look at him. Tristan, can I have your number? Daisy, was that so hard? Tristan, I'm sorry, I should have asked before. Daisy takes his phone and puts her number in with the Daisy emoji. Daisy, well, you've got making up to do, so you owe me. Tristan, anything you want. Daisy returns his phone and puts out her hand. There's a moment of confusion. Tristan, I don't have any cash on me. Daisy, let's dance. Tristan, whoa there, Bowie. I can't. Daisy, oh, I think you can. Tristan, I've never done that in my life. Tristan points to the dance floor. Daisy, well, it's no hoedown throwdown, but you owe me. Don't leave me hanging like you did on the platform. She starts getting up from her chair. Tristan, oh, that was cold. Tristan gets up. They both make their way to the dance floor. The group line dance. The friends all exchange looks and signal how they feel. Max signals to Tristan that Estelle might be a no-go. Tristan signals to Max that Daisy is a yes. Max acts out sex and is being a disgusting lad. Estelle catches this and thinks he's doing it about her. She slaps him lightly on the arm in disapproval and dances away. Johnny gives a thumbs up to Daisy and Dolly simultaneously pushes her boobs together, reminding Daisy to hold her tits up. As the song comes to an end, everybody cheers as the song fades into Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter. Tristan and Daisy instantly lock eyes. Daisy mouthing silently, feminism. Tristan is embarrassed but finds it cute. He leans into her ear. Tristan, can we go for a walk? Daisy over the music. What? Daisy is taken back by this sudden request. Tristan points at her and then himself and runs his fingers along the palm of his hand, acting out them walking together. Daisy, Let me get my coat. Meet me out front. Tristan heads for the door and Daisy walks back to the table to get her coat. Dolly rushes over. Dolly, where'd he go? Daisy, outside to wait for me. Dolly, you little minx. Who knew a beard would be all it takes to keep a guy interested? I would have stopped shaving years ago. Daisy, I'll text you. Dolly, I'll track you in an hour. Daisy, love you. Exterior venue, nighttime clear. Daisy bursts out of the barn venue doors and turns to see Tristan leaning against the wall waiting for her. He slips his phone back into his pocket and walks over to her. They start to walk down the road. Tristan, hungry? Daisy, I could eat. Tristan, I had a look on the line and there's a place up here. Daisy, as long as there's chips, I'm good. Tristan, of course there's chips. I'm not a savage. She laughs. There's a slightly awkward but cute silence for a moment as they continue walking. Tristan, you know, I went through an unshaved era, but I found it a logistical nightmare. Have you tried eating with your new facial hair? Daisy, truth is, I'm dying to get this off my face, but dread what's underneath. Tristan, free yourself. Daisy, well, you have seen me after a 9-hour flight, so surely it can't get worse. Daisy tugs at her beard, but the glue is stronger than expected. Her eyes well up slightly. She turns away to hide her pain. She tugs again, trying to do it quick like a plaster, but she can't hold back. Fuck! Tristan, you okay there, Kenny? Daisy turns back to face Tristan. Daisy, it would appear that I've made a vital error. The glue is in fact glue, the sticky kind. Tristan, do you want me to? They stop walking, move to the side by a wall. Tristan approaches, grabs the beard and pulls slightly and slowly. They share a cute moment as he gently pulls away the beard. Daisy turns her face away as the beard comes away. She takes off her cowboy hat, which lets her hair fall down, and turns towards him, flicking her hair. Tristan expects a beautiful reveal. Tristan, Daisy, don't freak out. Daisy, why do people keep saying that to me tonight? Revealed, Daisy's lower half of her face is bright red and slightly hive-ridden. She's had a reaction to the glue, and the top part of her face has heavy makeup on. She starts touching her red face. Daisy, my face is red, isn't it? Tristan, yep. Daisy, what are we talking here? A bit red or Clifford the Big Red Dog red? Tristan, Clifford. Daisy, right. Tristan, come on, let's get you some ice. They walk into a late night kebab place. Tristan is still holding the sticky beard. Interior, late night kebab place. Half empty. It's too early to be full. Daisy sits at a table, a cup of ice for her face, which is now calming. Her makeup has been removed slightly too. Tristan walks over with 2 portions of chips and sits down. Tristan, I got you your own chips, so you know I'm not trying to poison you or anything. Daisy, surely if you wanted to prove that, you'd eat the same chips as me. Tristan grabs a chip from her portion and eats it. He pretends to be poisoned, choke and die. Daisy laughs. Daisy, please don't die, not on the first date. Tristan shoots back up from his pretend death. Tristan, so this is a date? Daisy, you tell me. Tristan, a very cheap one. Daisy, well, money can't buy happiness. Tristan, do you believe that? Daisy, no, actually, I don't. Money gives you choices and freedom. Tristan, and the best chips in all of London. Tristan proudly eats another chip and smiles. Daisy, could do with more mayo though. Tristan, say no more. Your wish is my command. Tristan gets up and goes to grab more mayo. Daisy texts Dolly, safe, chips, happy. Dolly replies instantly, details tomorrow. Tristan returns and Daisy puts her phone away. Daisy, why did you move back to London? I'm assuming it wasn't just for the amazing chips. Tristan, oh, that was reason 5. Did I tell you what I do for work? Daisy shakes her head and eats more chips. Tristan, I'm a musician, a songwriter actually. I went to America for a few years to songwrite, but it didn't work out. Daisy, when work's your passion, it's a privilege, but it can quickly fade into just work. Tristan, what do you do? Daisy, I'm in the wonderful world of events. Weddings, birthdays, line dancing. Tristan, that was your event. Daisy, I was on the team, yeah. Tristan, and I made you leave early. Daisy, it's always best to leave before people get too far gone anyway. Tristan, it was a fantastic event though. Daisy, oh, they didn't play Islands in the Stream, so it can't be 5 stars from me. Tristan, well, they might have played it, but you ditched it for chips. Daisy, no. I didn't ditch it for the chips. They exchange a look. Tristan, hey, you're not Clifford anymore. Can I take you home? Walk you home. Can I walk you home? Daisy, it's not far. They make their way into the street and begin walking back to Daisy's. Arriving at Daisy's door to her block of flats, she unlocks it and turns back to Tristan. They look at each other intensely. Daisy, is it too soon to kiss? Tristan, I thought you'd never ask. They grab each other and start kissing. The soundtrack plays Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet. Daisy grabs his hand and they both run upstairs. She unlocks the door to her flat as they continue kissing. Interior, Daisy's flat. Daisy's home is a small but warm place filled with life. Vibrant orange colours, an open-plan studio-style flat. The bed is separated from the kitchen diner by a vintage fold screen. Daisy starts undressing and leading the way to the bed. She throws her teddy bear and extra pillows off the bed. Tristan lies her down and takes off his shirt. He's on top kissing her. Music stops suddenly. Tristan sits up, silent, a face full of panic and shock. He runs to the toilet through the open door attached to the bedroom. Daisy is left led on the bed, half naked and shocked. The flat is so small, she can hear him throwing up violently. Daisy gets a glass of water and an old band t-shirt of hers out ready for him. Daisy hears the flush and watches Tristan slowly open the door. Tristan walks sheepishly into the bedroom entrance, holding the door frame as support. Tristan, did you poison me? Daisy, now that would be a plot twist. Tristan, maybe they weren't the best chips in London after all. Daisy, are you okay? I got you a t-shirt and a water there. Tristan, is it all right if I use some of that mouthwash? Tristan picks up the t-shirt and heads into the bathroom. Daisy, of course, there's an old toothbrush in the drawer on the left if you want it. Tristan disappears briefly back into the bathroom while Daisy waits. When he reappears, he's wearing the shirt. Tristan looks down at the t-shirt, modelling it. Tristan, the specials. I'm impressed. Daisy, I aim to please. I saw them on tour with my dad in 2009. Hey, do you ever play live? Tristan, one thing I've learned from the Barbie movie, don't ever play guitar for a girl. Might be more embarrassing than throwing your guts up on the first date. Tristan sits on the bed beside her. Daisy, can I get my BJ undies on now? Tristan is surprised, but excited at the idea she still wants to continue their intimacy despite this setback. Tristan, be my guest. Daisy, technically you're my guest, so make yourself at home and I'll be right back. Daisy gets up, takes something from her drawer and heads to the bathroom. Tristan adjusts himself on the bed, removes his jeans and lies there waiting for her. Daisy emerges from the bathroom with her hair in a bun, her PJ top on, and she's wearing a pair of large knickers. Tristan notices he's got the wrong end of the stick and grabs the duvet. He pulls it and tries to cover his bottom half. Daisy, what's going on? Tristan, your BJs. I thought you said you were getting your BJs on. Daisy, my Bridget Jones. My comfies. Tristan pulls the duvet further up over his whole body, hiding. Tristan, could this get any more embarrassing? Daisy, look who's Clifford now. They both laugh in cringe. Tristan, I can't ever come out from under this duvet. First I don't get your number. By some twist of fate I bump into Kenny Rogers. The next minute I'm in your t-shirt after having thrown up my guts. And now I've assumed you'd still want to come near me. Daisy, maybe not tonight, hey? Tristan, this cannot be happening. Daisy, Tristan, it's fine. I had beard rash earlier and you don't think any less of me. This is hilarious. It's what life is. Tristan, if it's all the same to you, I'd like to leave. Erase these moments from my memory and return a new man at a later date. Would that be okay with you? Daisy, you do whatever you've got to do. Tristan, don't look at me either. Daisy, are you serious? Daisy is watching him under the duvet. She finds this goofy and funny. Tristan. Oh. Daisy, I'll go into the bathroom for 3 minutes. You can either leave or stay and we can put on a film, go to sleep and get some breakfast together in the morning. It's up to you. Tristan hears Daisy close the door to the bathroom. He peers above the duvet. Interior, Daisy's bathroom. Daisy is sat against the sink in the bathroom, giving Tristan the time she promised. Daisy listens to the TV turning on in the other room and smiles to herself. Then she hears the front door shut. Daisy emerges from the bathroom. We have a close-up of her facial reaction before we cut to interior, the same pub, the same table. Daisy, he left. He actually left. Dolly, you're kidding me. Johnny, well, it does sound mortifying. I'd want the ground to swallow me and never spit me back out. You'd never see me again. Dolly, has he messaged you? Daisy, no, but it's only been 6 days. He's gonna message, right? A moment of silence. Estelle, I'd never speak to you again. Dolly hits Estelle lightly as if to tell her off. Estelle, I'm sorry, but I'd want you as a distant memory. I wouldn't want to relive it. Throwing up, lying there in his pants. Yikes. Daisy, talking of lying there in his pants, what happened with you and that Max? Estelle, nothing. Don't be silly. I'm taken, remember? Her shady response leaves question marks for the group as they all shoot each other a look. Johnny, it was a great night though. Daisy, you know what there was when I came out of the loo? Cut to interior Daisy's flat flashback. Flashback to the night. Daisy comes out of the bathroom. A smile comes across her face when she realises Tristan has made the bed for her. Her clothes from that night are folded respectfully on her drawers. Her teddy bear is sat up, tucked into bed, holding the remote. On the TV, Bridget Jones is starting, ironically the part where she's singing about being alone. Cut back to the present day. Interior, same pub, same table. Daisy. Mr. Ted was even holding the remote. Estelle's Johnny, Zoe and Dolly. Oh, Zoe, he likes you. Daisy, he'll text, right? Dolly, I'm sure of it. Plus, he's got to give your t-shirt back. Otherwise, he'll definitely become Tea Leaf Tristan. Zoe's phone buzzes and she checks it. Zoe, what a rat. Dolly, fuckwit? Zoe, fuckwit. Everyone, hey, fuckwit. They all drink. Zoe, he can't go to Jimmy's football match next weekend. He'll be devastated and I'm at work. I promised I'd never have one of my sons looking over at the sidelines with nobody there for them. I'll have to cancel my meetings. Daisy, I'll go. Zoe, really? Daisy, yeah, sure. I don't have another event till next month. Zoe, lifesaver. I'll text you the details. Exterior, school football field, late morning. Zoe's eldest son, Jimmy, plays football. Daisy sits on the sidelines in a fold-out chair. She pours a flask of hot drink from her tote bag. She is very vocal in her support of Jimmy. Jimmy laughs and is clearly used to this behaviour. A football dad approaches Daisy. Football dad, mind if I pull up beside you? Daisy, not at all. The football dad starts unfolding his own chair and sits down beside her. Football dad, which one's yours? Daisy, oh no, not mine. I don't want kids. No, not for me. Jimmy is my friend Zoe's. Football dad, fair enough then. Finn is mine. He's that one there. Daisy, go on, Jimmy. Football dad, divorced now though. So, I'm single. Daisy, do you come to these often? Football dad, wouldn't miss it for the world. Showing up is the most important thing. Having someone there cheering you on. Even if you suck like my kid. Daisy laughs and looks at him with a twinkle in her eye. Daisy, he's not that bad. We cut to the pitch. Finn gets hit in the face with a football and the sideline parents all respond with, ooh. Football dad, it's okay, Finn. Walk it off, son. Walk it off. They laugh and continue watching the game. Daisy offers football dad a flask of her hot drink, which he accepts. As he goes to drink it, a small bug lands on his shoulder. Daisy watches as he smacks it hard and proud. Football dad, got him. Daisy laughs it off, but visibly becomes uncomfortable as she thinks of bug killer Phil. Daisy looks down at her flask uncomfortably. She looks back at the pitch and sees Tristan approaching. She is shocked. Football dad, so did you want to... Daisy, sorry, I've just seen someone I know. Daisy gets out of her chair and starts walking away. Football dad moves his chair to be beside a new group of mums. Daisy and Tristan walk towards each other. Daisy, I thought you'd actually died of embarrassment. Tristan, I had no idea how to message you after that. Max convinced me I should just face up to it, and I couldn't live with myself knowing I'd stolen your favourite specials t-shirt. Tristan hands back her t-shirt and she smiles. Daisy, how did you know I was here? Tristan, after Estelle and Max spent the night together, he had her number, so I... Daisy, wait, did you say they spent the night together? Max and Est? Tristan, yeah, why? Daisy, she decided to leave out that little detail. Tristan, sorry, have I said something I shouldn't have? Daisy, no, sorry, back to us. Tristan, Estelle said you'd be here so I could come and face it in person, so here I am. Daisy, any chance you could stop ghosting me for weeks at a time? Tristan, if that's what you want. Daisy, you owe me a date, remember? Also, you might have just saved me here. A divorcee dad cornered me and I watched him kill a bug. Tristan, a murder in plain sight while he's trying to flirt with you. Daisy, exactly. Tristan, well, what a disaster. Truly embarrassing for him. Like, seriously embarrassing. You can't blame a guy for trying though. Daisy, want to come watch the match? Daisy and Tristan watch the football match together and cheer on Jimmy. Zoe eventually turns up from work with her youngest son. Zoe, you are a lifesaver. I couldn't get out of work quick enough. And Zoe notices Tristan sat beside Daisy. Zoe to Tristan with disgust. Excuse me, Can't a mother come to a football match without being hit on by a... Daisy. Zoe, no. He's not a football dad. Zoe. What's he doing here then? Watching children play football? He's not a nonce, is he? Daisy. He's with me. That's him? Zoe. What? Plain train never spoke to you again until you gave him another chance and he threw up and ghosted you all the same. That guy. Daisy. Oh, is that his unofficial title now? Yes. Zoe, this is Tristan. Tristan stands and shakes her hand. Tristan. Jimmy is fantastic at football. Zoe. It's the one thing his fuckwit father got right. Daisy swigs her flask and Zoe pretends to drink. Daisy and Zoe. Fuckwit? Zoe. He taught him how to play and dominate the field. Go on, Jimmy. Jimmy scores the winning goal. The place goes crazy. Zoe and her youngest son run off to hug her son. Daisy and Tristan clap in celebration. Tristan looks over in awe of Daisy and her smile. Tristan. You know, you smile with your whole face. Daisy. Thank you. Daisy notices Zoe is now looking after the kids, so she's free. Daisy. Looks like we're off the hook as cheerleaders. Tristan. Are you free? Daisy. All day. Tristan. Good, because I owe you a date and breakfast. Daisy. Breakfast? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Tristan. I didn't mean it like that. Daisy. Where shall we go? Tristan. Follow me. Exterior, hidden cinema. The couple arrive at a small cinema. Daisy. You've brought me on a date where you don't actually have to speak to me for hours. Tristan. Less chance I'll embarrass myself here. Tristan opens the door. Daisy is amazed as the inside of the cinema is big, grand and beautiful. A classic old cinema. Interior, sweeping cinema entrance. Posters line the walls. There are lots of snacks and fresh popcorn. Tristan. Pretty cool, eh? Daisy. What are we going to watch? Tristan. That depends. Do you want the comfort of something you've already seen or the thrill of something new? Daisy. I do love that feeling of knowing something's coming but you don't know what yet. Tristan. But then the comfort of watching an Old Faithful on the big screen is equally as joyous. Daisy. What do you want to watch? Tristan. No, this day is about you. Daisy. I usually know what I want, but today there's too much choice. Tristan rustles for a coin in his pocket. Tristan. This is why we've got to keep cash alive. Where's a coin when we need one? He finally reveals a coin, but it's not a coin. It's a trolley coin. One side is a trolley and the other is a smiley face. Tristan. Smile, it's an old gold. Trolley, it's new. The coin flips to reveal the trolley. The camera sees, but Daisy doesn't. Tristan decides. Daisy. Well, sir, what are we watching? Tristan. An old gold. Notting Hill. Surely you're familiar. Daisy. I think I watched it on video once when I was younger. Tristan. You've never had the joy of Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts on a 30-foot screen? Daisy shakes her head. Tristan. You are in for a treat. And not just because I'm here. Tristan grabs her hand and leads her to the counter. He orders a huge popcorn, 2 Diet Cokes, and Daisy grabs some chocolates. Interior, cinema screening. Daisy. You've got to chuck the chocolate in with the popcorn. It's a whole new world. Daisy shakes the chocolates into the popcorn and using her hand spreads them around. Tristan. Now you've fingered my popcorn. Daisy's smile drops. Daisy. Right, I'll get you a new... Tristan takes a huge handful of popcorn/chocolate and starts shoving it in his face. He then presents the bag to Daisy to share. They both smile. She sighs, relieved that he was only joking, and they watch the movie. They laugh together. Daisy cries, and we see Tristan look at her smitten. He places his hand on her leg, and she puts her head on his shoulder. Fade to black. Interior, classic cafe, eating brunch. Daisy. I can't believe I'd forgotten most of that movie. It's amazing. Tristan. I know. My cousin Christopher showed me it when I was about 12. Changed my life. Daisy. Because Julia Roberts is a certified angel. Tristan. That. And it's the first time I'd heard the song She, Elvis Costello. I begged my parents for a guitar right after. Daisy. A musical awakening. Tristan. I guess you could call it that. Daisy pushes her bacon away from her hash browns on her plate. Tristan notices. Tristan. Oh shit, are you a vegetarian? Daisy. No, I have the morals, but no willpower to resist meat. To be honest, this looks like it could still oink if it tried hard enough. I'm used to my dad burning everything to a crisp. Tristan. Say no more? Tristan switches their bacon, giving himself the undercooked lot. Daisy smiles. Daisy. I reckon brunch is better than breakfast. Tristan. Oh yeah, how so? Daisy. It's acceptable to get chips on the side of brunch. Exterior, walking home to Daisy's flat, late afternoon. Tristan. I feel like I've known you for years, but I want to know more about you. Daisy. Let's trade questions. You ask me, then I ask you. Tristan, okay. Favourite movie? Daisy, 50 First Dates. Tristan, an Adam Sandler fan. Daisy, it's my question now. Ooh, favourite TV series? Tristan, Stranger Things. Go-to drink? Daisy, Diet Coke always, Dr. Pepper for special occasions. Will you play me any of your songs? Tristan, doubtful. I've fallen out of love with writing songs recently. Coming back from America felt pretty depressing. The only good thing to come out of it was meeting this girl. I think you'd get along with her. Daisy, what's she like? They arrive at Daisy's flat and walk upstairs. Tristan, she asks a lot of questions. She's extremely loyal to her friends. She's a bit mental, but beautiful and wonderful. Daisy, yep, she sounds cool. Interior, Daisy's flat, early evening, light outside. They walk into the kitchen. It's not very clean. Daisy puts down her tote bag and they take off their shoes. Daisy, with this being your first time ever to visit my humble abode, I'm sure you'd like a tour. Tristan going along with it. Yes, that'd be good seeing as I don't know my way around. Daisy, we have this spacious kitchen diner, complete with unique features like a leaking sink and a fridge older than I am, covered with a beautiful array of magnets. Tristan, are the white goods included? Daisy, I can ask the owner, but she might feel quite attached to this beaten old fridge. Beaten, but reliable. Tristan, and this way? Tristan points towards the bedroom/bathroom. Daisy, now that would lead to the bathroom. And the master bedroom. Would you like to see? Tristan, do you know what I'd really love? He gets closer as Daisy gives a small shrug and smile. Tristan, I'd love to lie here, watch a film, and sleep next to you in your finest BJs. Daisy, really? Are the BJs coming out? Tristan, could we? Daisy, you read my mind. Cut to interior, Daisy's bed, early eve, light coming through the window. Tristan is wearing the same band t-shirt as last time. They are watching a movie and Tristan appears to have fallen asleep. Daisy glances over, smiles and settles back in to watch the movie. Tristan is awake. He peeks over at her. Cut to a shot of the TV as it is paused. Tristan. Daisy. Daisy. Yeah? Tristan moves closer to her. Tristan. I can't sleep. Daisy. Neither can I. They slowly kiss as he pulls her closer, intimate and slow. He takes off his shirt and stops. Daisy. What's wrong? Do you feel sick again? Tristan. Nothing's wrong. Nothing at all. He leans back in to continue kissing. It's intimate and loving as we fade to black. Interior, pub, friends at table. Daisy, it was perfect. More than perfect. Johnny, and early evening. You've got the whole night ahead of you. Daisy, it was so different to anyone else. It felt like we were the only two people in the world. He was there for me and only me, but exactly as I am. A small pause as the friends wait to hear more. Johnny, oh God, Est, what's up? Estelle is holding back tears. Estelle, sorry guys, I can't. I'm so happy for you, Days. I think I've just realised something. When I'm with Daniel, I'm not the only person he wants. It's never just me and him. I've spent so long convincing myself, only seeing what I want to see. The truth is, I've been having doubts since country night. And about that, I went home with Max. All but Daisy gasp in shock. What? Daisy hides the fact she already knew. She lets Estelle have her moment. Dolly, why didn't you tell us? Estelle, I didn't think it meant anything, and maybe I didn't realise it then, but it's clicked. Like a sex epiphany. Daniel doesn't want just me. Certainly not as I am, and he probably never will. I've realised that makes me not want him either. Johnny, hallelujah! Dolly, she's back in the room. Estelle, I should have listened to you all months ago. I already hate him. Johnny, we need more drinks to celebrate. Esther's no longer Delulu, and Daisy might actually have a +1 to her sister's wedding this year. Johnny goes to order more drinks. Estelle, you know, whenever we went out for dinner, he'd treat the staff like shit and never leave a tip. Countless times, I'd pretend I'd left my phone at the table so I could go back and chuck him a tenner. Dolly, doesn't he drive a Tesla? Estelle nods and Daisy makes a gag noise, pretending to throw up. Estelle, who'd have thought it'd be Daisy's sex life inspiring me, hey? Johnny returns with drinks. Johnny, how the tables turn to Daisy's sex life. Dolly, now we can tell you his nickname. Estelle, I can think of a few myself. Fade to black. Interior, church, day, sunny out. Daisy's sister Mia's wedding. The church is filling up with guests. Tristan sits in a pew flicking through the order of service. Dolly runs in and shuts the door loudly. The guests all turn. She's late, but just in time for the bride. She bustles her way into the church. Tristan has saved her a seat. Dolly, fucking nightmare out there. Couldn't park anywhere. Tristan, well, I'm glad you're here now. I got here early and I feel outnumbered by Daisy's family who clearly know who I am, but I have no clue who all of them are. It's really unnerving. Dolly, how long have you been here? As Dolly is taking off her coat and putting down her bag, Tristan hands her a tissue from his jacket pocket to dab her sweat. He's always prepared. Tristan, oh, about an hour. Dolly, an hour? Tristan, yes, and the only person who I had the courage to speak to ended up doing 20 minutes on the architecture of the building without stopping for air. Dolly, not long lost cousin Lewis. Tristan, you got it. Which reminds me, I really should introduce you to my cousin Christopher. You totally get along. He has no interest in architecture at all. Music starts playing. Congregation stand. Tristan reminds Dolly to put her phone on silent. Bridesmaids enter one by one. Daisy enters as maid of honour. Tristan and Dolly are sat right near the back. Tristan clearly finds Daisy stunning. Dolly glances at Tristan, catches the look of love in his eyes, and smiles happily for her best friend. As the couple exchange vows, Daisy looks for Tristan in the crowd, and their eyes meet. He pulls a funny face, which makes her smile so much she has to look away. Interior, Daisy's sister Mia's wedding after-party venue. Tristan enters a side room which looks to be a storeroom. He's looking for a moment of peace and rest. He takes a seat on a storage box. He hears a man cough. Tristan, hello? Tristan peers around a shelf to an open window. A man is there smoking a cigar secretively out of a small window. Tristan, sorry sir, I didn't realise this room was occupied. The man, oh no my boy, come on in. I'm relieved you're not my daughter. She'd kill me if she found me here. Tristan, I'm Tristan. The man, Rodney, pleasure. I could only sneak in enough contraband for one, but be my guest. Rodney offers Tristan to share his cigar. Tristan, I fear my coughing would blow our cover, though I do have some mints if you need a disguise when you're done. Rodney, a wise plan, my boy. Bride or groom? Tristan, bride. Well, maid of honour, actually. Rodney, our Daisy. Tristan, yeah, Daisy. I believe it wouldn't be too bold of me to introduce myself as her boyfriend. Rodney, that is how she describes you to me, yes. Daisy, what do we have here? Tristan quickly and subtly snatches the cigar from Rodney's hand before turning around to Daisy. Rodney, hiya, love. I was just getting to know young Tristan here. Daisy, and why are you doing so in a cupboard, Dad? Tristan suddenly realised he's been talking to her dad the whole time. Tristan, Dad? Sorry, Days, I snuck in here for a quick smoke when your dad found me. Tristan's trying to find a way to hold the cigar casually and naturally despite being totally out of his comfort zone. Daisy, I'm rounding everyone up for pictures. Dad, that means you. Rodney, right you are, love, on my way. Rodney gets up and heads to the door, notices Tristan lingering by the window. Rodney, not joining us? Daisy, actually, Dad, Mia has a strict no plus ones policy for the photos. Tristan, she doesn't know how long I'll be sticking around, you see. Daisy, wouldn't want to ruin the photos of her big day with a fling. Rodney, I'll never understand this nonsense. Come on, lad. Tristan, no really, what the bride wants is most important, and besides, I've got my cigar to finish. Rodney, right you are. Rodney exits. Daisy looks back into the room. Daisy, see you out there. Interior, wedding venue with tables. We cut to small scenes of Tristan at the meal and the speeches. So sat next to an old relative at the wedding, taking out their dentures, listening to emotional speeches, laughing at the dad's speech. And then we fade into the after party and the DJ is playing. Daisy and Tristan are dancing together to the first dance song. So on the dance floor, Daisy, how was your cigar earlier? Tristan, the occasional recreational toke is something I partake in from time to time. Daisy, thank you. Tristan, for what? Daisy gives Tristan a knowing look. Daisy, covering for my dad. Not that I condone the lying part, but ever since that he keeps talking about what a loyal, lovely lad you are. Tristan, I'm in the good books then. Daisy, it would appear so, but don't ever lie to me again, okay? Tristan smiles and pulls her in closer to dance. Daisy realises something over her shoulder. Daisy, I've got a surprise for you. Tristan, oh yeah? Daisy, I didn't want you to feel outnumbered when all my friends get here, so I've invited Max to join too. Tristan, that's great. Daisy, it looks like he's coming in now. Max enters, takes a leftover table wine, pours a glass and starts swigging it. Tristan walks over to him. Max, hey, the party has arrived. Tristan, Maximilian, I'm so relieved you're here. Max, you feeling all right? Backup has arrived, my friend. They embrace. Tristan, more of Daisy's mates are coming later too, so it'll be fun. Max, more of Daisy's mates? Tristan, yeah, they've all known Mia for years too. Max, who's Mia? Tristan, Mia, Daisy's sister, the woman whose table wine you're currently downing? Max, yeah, of course, Mia. We go way back. Tristan, you've met Daisy's mates before, remember? Dolly, who's already here. Zoe, if Fuckwit will have the kids. Fuckwit! Tristan sips his drink and signals Max to do the same, which he does with a slightly confused but accepting look on his face. Tristan, then there's Johnny and Estelle. Tristan waits for a reaction to Estelle's name. Max, yeah. Tristan, Estelle? Max, yeah, I heard. Tristan, that's it? No crude joke, no nudge, nudge, wink, wink. What's wrong with you? Max, she's a taken lady, Tristan, and now that I know, I must respect that. Tristan, actually, she's currently single. Max, why didn't you say so before? Tristan, oh, I thought you weren't interested. Max, when you meet a girl dressed as Barbie, share one magical night together, and then she says she's actually got a boyfriend and he's just texted, so she leaves at 3 a.m, suddenly you become less interested. Tristan, did you say magical night? Max, really? That's what you took away from that? Tristan, sorry, I was just taken back by all the magic in the air. Max, oh, fuck off. Tristan, speaking of magic. From across the room, we see Estelle arriving to join her friends. Estelle has a new haircut. They're all squealing and hugging each other, complimenting each other's outfits. Max, shit. Tristan, let's go say hi. Max, wait, Tris, I'm not ready. Tristan, I'm going. Max, hold on. Tristan, gone. Tristan walks over to the girls and Max reluctantly follows. Tristan greets them all as friends with hugs. As we get to Estelle and Max, there's definitely an awkward tension. Is she embarrassed from their past relations or shy because she likes him? Hey girl, what's up? Long time no see. He goes in for an awkward bro hug. Estelle, yeah, it's been a while. As they pull away from the hug, there's an awkward silence as the friends also feel the tension and quickly try to relieve the situation. Daisy, dancing, let's dance. Daisy leads the girls away. Max turns to Tristan and gives him a panicked look. Max pulls Tristan into the cupboard that he was in earlier. Interior, storage cupboard. Max, well, that was a disaster. Tristan, you've got to relax, man. You're sweating. Max, I crumbled. She's got that post-breakup thing going on. Why do girls do that? They become a whole new person after a breakup. New hair, new clothes, new attitude, everything. It's like witchcraft. How can I even speak to her now? She's a whole different person. Tristan, she's already seen you naked. What's left to worry about? There's a clatter from behind the shelf coming from the window. Reveal Rodney, Daisy's dad, smoking again. Rodney, don't mind me, boys. I'm not even here. Max mouthing to Tristan, who the fuck is that? Tristan mouthing back, Daisy's dad. Max, shit, what do we do now? It's left an awkwardly long time without them replying. Rodney from behind the shelf, does sound like a spot of girl trouble, hey? Max has a look of cringe on his face. Tristan, this is my best friend Max. If you don't mind me saying, Rodney, he's made a total tit of himself out there in front of Estelle. Max, I mind you saying, I'm having a crisis here. Rodney appears from behind the shelves. You see the smoke around him as he waves a path through the cloud. Rodney, I was going with this girl once. On the chubby side. Lovely, though. Lovely, but chubby. We broke up before summer. By the time she came back to school, she'd gone from dump truck to a young Liz Hurley. I fumbled that one, lads. Should have backed the horse. Tristan gets a mint out of his pocket and hands it to Rodney. Rodney winks. Rodney taps Max on the shoulder and starts to walk out of the room. He turns back. Rodney, ask her to dance. Tristan, what, last time? Rodney, not fast. Slow dance. 20 years Jenny and I were together. It all started with a dance. I'd love to be able to ask her to dance again. He exits. Tristan, well, that's your plan. Max, how do I know what a good song is? Tristan, I think you'll know. Exterior, outside venue. Dark, clear night. The disco is faint in the background. There's a fire pit next to a cart of marshmallows. Max, Estelle, Johnny, Dolly, Zoe, Daisy and Tristan. Max: I love a wedding. You turn up, you get fed, drink, dance and chat shit all evening. They're roasting marshmallows. Zoe: my wedding was a total shit show. It was supposed to be all roses and wax. It ended up a wanky candle at best. We spent every penny we had on a party for other people to enjoy. Hated half the people there at the time, let alone now. One of my bridesmaids wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. But hey, we live and learn. Johnny: the cocktails were great though. Zoe: those cocktails are what led to Jimmy, so it was worth it, I suppose. Estelle: you're lucky you did it early, Zoe. My biological clock ticks louder every day, and my mum keeps reminding me I have 2 years left to find a good man. Tristan: why 2 years? Estelle: 2 years for him to fall in love with me, a year or two of wedding planning. By the time we finally start having kids, it will be 4 years from now, and that's if he's not a commitment phobe. It's just biology. Dolly: best you find someone who's not scared of commitment then, Est. Dolly flashes a cheeky look at Estelle and Max. Max: let's get some more wood. Max heads to find more wood for the fire pit. Tristan: I'll come. The pair walk away from the group. Max: bloody hell, she's already talking about marriage. Tristan: well, no point in waiting around, but one step at a time, hey? Max: I'm not ready to commit like that. Tristan: nobody's asking you to. Do you like her? Max: she's all right. Tristan: Max, do you like her? Max: yeah, I do. Tristan: time to get her on the dance floor then. Max: how are we going to get her away from the fire? Tristan: leave it with me. Tristan splits from the group. We see him disappear to the DJ. Max rejoins the group and adds more wood to the fire. Max: got the wood? Dolly: that's what I've heard. The gang all laugh and Estelle looks embarrassed. Music changes from inside the venue. Daisy sits up alert, listens out and realises what song is playing. Monkey Man by The Specials. Daisy: the Specials, let's go. The gang all get up and rush past Tristan to the dance floor. Daisy grabs his hand and pulls him in too. We see them all dancing. Sometime later, Johnny and Tristan are sat at the table as the others dance to an upbeat song. Johnny and Tristan laugh about a young lad on the dance floor in rainbow socks, knee sliding. Johnny: oh, we love an ally. They laugh. Tristan: I'm tired watching him. I think I peaked too early. Like her. An elderly woman is being basically carried off the dance floor after overdoing it. The music changes to a slow song, She's the One by Robbie Williams. Tristan sits up in his chair. Tristan, under his breath: go on, lad. Max adjusts his hair and heads towards Estelle. She's dancing with Zoe and Dolly. We see Tristan's silent perspective, just with the music. Zoe and Dolly join hands and walk off to get a drink as Estelle accepts Max's offer to slow dance. Max pulls Estelle in tight as they move around. He smiles at Tristan over her shoulder. Tristan puts his thumb up. Johnny: oh, I'm so happy for her. Tristan: I haven't seen him so flustered over a girl since we were about 14. A pause as we see Max and Estelle dancing. Tristan: what about you? Where's Steve, isn't it? Johnny: I've learned the hard way that sometimes it's best to have friends that are your own. Don't blend the two. Tristan: how long have you been together? Johnny: almost 2 years. Tristan: I'm glad Daisy met Max early on. You can tell a lot about someone by their friends. I get it though, you're protective. Protective of your friendships, of your relationship, your own identity as a person without your partner. Johnny: exactly. I never want to lose myself in him and always be an us. Tristan: but isn't that the best part? When your stories become we rather than I. When you get an invite with an unspoken +1 permanently attached. You make memories that both of you can recall and laugh at. It's not you filling the other person in on what a fabulous night you've had without them there. Johnny looks deep in thought. Johnny: you might be right. Tristan: the way I see it, I'd love to meet this guy that you love so much. He must be pretty great. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to see a girl about a dance. Tristan heads to find Daisy to ask her to dance. Interior on the dance floor at the wedding. On the dance floor, couples dance. We cut between conversations. Max: I like the new hair, by the way. Estelle: thank you. Max: Est, are we friends? Estelle: yeah. Max: okay, good. You think men and women can be just friends? Estelle: of course, me and Johnny are best friends. Max: it's not the same. Have you ever seen When Harry Met Sally? Estelle: no. Max: maybe don't watch it. It might ruin the ending. Cut to Rodney and Dolly dance. Rodney: shouldn't you be dancing with one of the handsome young fellas? Dolly, I already am. Rodney, very funny. Dolly, I wouldn't want to be dancing with anyone else. Jenny was a lucky woman. Rodney, one thing's for sure, I was the lucky one. Cut to Daisy. How's it been? Tristan, I see where you get it from. Daisy, what? Tristan, oh, your mentalness. Daisy playfully smacks his arm and laughs. Daisy, when do I get to meet your family? Tristan, oh, you know, soon. Daisy, you can tell a lot about a person from their family. Tristan's face turns to worried. Interior, hotel breakfast, morning after wedding. Chaotic noise as they're all eating breakfast. Mia, her husband, Rodney, Dolly, Daisy, Tristan, and some of Mia's friends. Tristan puts a Diet Coke in front of Daisy. Silence falls over the table as Max and Estelle arrive together. Daisy, all right, you two? Estelle, good morning, Daisy. Dolly, oh, good morning indeed, I see. Max sits by Tristan, looks up at Rodney. Rodney winks. Max nods his head subtly in delight. Rodney, that's one daughter sorted. You're next then, Daisy, my girl. Mia, and obviously I'll be your maid of honour because you were mine. Daisy, oh, Dad, stop. You'll make him run a mile. Dolly, yeah, slow down. She hasn't even met his family yet. Tristan is visibly uncomfortable, head down. He knows they've been talking about it. Daisy shoots Dolly a look as if she's just let the cat out of the bag. Daisy, besides, just because everyone around me is getting married doesn't mean I have to. Mia, you want to though, right? Daisy, yeah, eventually. Max, just not to Tristan, eh, Daisy? Max tries to move the situation along and diffuse for his best friend. Mia, when you know though, you know? Dolly, more bacon, anyone? Daisy, it's not a case of knowing, it's timing. Tristan says nothing. Rodney, you've got all the time in the world. Dolly, bacon, anyone? Bacon. Interior pub, friends at table. Daisy, Dolly, Estelle, Johnny, and Steve. Daisy, he said nothing. Left me out to dry in front of everyone. Estelle, it was mortifying. He went white as a sheet. Johnny, I can't believe I missed the drama. Daisy, and I haven't met anyone in his life, apart from Max. Johnny, you can tell a lot by someone's friends. Steve, very true. Daisy, Steve, you've not met him yet. What do you make of all this? Steve, no man would spend a whole day with a girl's family if he wasn't invested in you and your relationship. Daisy, I haven't met his family. He's never invited me over to his house. We're always at mine. I don't get it. Dolly, does he have a family? Daisy, yep, 2 brothers. His parents aren't even divorced. Sounds like a perfectly normal family if you ask me. Johnny, talk to him about it. Don't let it fester. Daisy, you're right. Interior, Daisy's apartment after work. Daisy enters. Tristan is there playing his guitar. As she enters, he puts it down. Daisy, oh good, you're here. Johnny's booked the table for 8. She's taking off her coat and tote while talking. Which is low-key late for us to eat, so do you want to have a little something now, me and you, tide us over? Realistically, we get there at 8, someone's 10 minutes late, we all look at the menu, we're not eating until at least 9:30. There's silence from Tristan. Daisy, I'm thinking a little cheeky sandwich, some cheese, crisps. Tristan, can you come here a sec? Daisy, I do want to talk to you about something too. Daisy sits on the end of the bed and the mood shifts. Tristan looks tortured. Tristan, I never wanted this. Daisy stays silent, waiting for more. Tristan, we were never meant to be together. Daisy, what's going on? Tristan, this wasn't ever meant to be. That day on the train, I wasn't even going to East London. I shouldn't have been on that train with you. Daisy, slow down, you're freaking me out. Are you okay? Tristan, that day we met, I left you and got a taxi home across London. I only got that train to spend more time with you, but I shouldn't have. I should have taken it as a sign that we were meant to go our separate ways. Tristan, please, listen. I have to tell you. We were meant to go our separate ways, but then I saw you again, dressed as Kenny Rogers. I couldn't help but speak to you. I asked Max to go up to the table and start a conversation. I was feeling good that night and couldn't keep away, and you've made me so happy. Daisy, why are you saying this? Are you trying to propose to me or break up with me? Tristan, Daisy, I've lied to you. Daisy, you're fucking married, aren't you? I've been preaching to Estelle and now I'm the other woman. Tristan, I'm not back in London because I'm a failed musician. It was actually going really well. Daisy, I'm here to be close to my family. I'm here for palliative care. She's silent as her eyes well up in shock. Daisy, you're dying. Tristan nods. Daisy, but you're 34. Tristan nods and wells up, looking defeated. Daisy, you were here waiting to break up with me. Tristan nods. Daisy takes a minute to process. We see the cogs turning as emotion builds. Daisy, all along, you've lied to me. And what, you thought you'd just break up with me and disappear? No, fuck that. If you cared about me, you'd have given me the choice. This is worse. Before, you could have told me at the start and I could have cut and run. I'm not saying I would have, but I would have liked the choice. Then it would have felt like a choice. Now it's not my choice. Tristan talking over her. It is your choice. I won't blame you. It's your choice. Daisy shakes her head. No, you don't understand. I don't have a choice because it's too late. For fuck's sake, I love you. So now you can be married and it doesn't matter. You can kill bugs in their own home and it doesn't matter. Now you can be dying and it doesn't matter because I love you. But I'm sad. The first time I get to tell someone I love them in years, and the first time I tell you I love you, and it's like this. This isn't how it happens. You're meant to hold a boombox above your head or declare your undying love to me at midnight on New Year's Eve. This is shit. They both look at each other from across the room, tears in their eyes. Daisy sits on the floor against the wall. Tristan slides down the wall and sits beside her. Tristan, we're fucked then, aren't we? Daisy, totally. Tristan, but this isn't shit, because I love you too. Cut to interior on Daisy's bed, hours later. Daisy has her head in his lap. She's been crying all night. He strokes her hair. Daisy, maybe you'll be one of those miracle cases where all of a sudden you're cured. Tristan, 4 years. Daisy, you never know, you could... Tristan, 4 years, Daisy. Daisy, you can live a whole life in 4 years. Tristan, that's what we'll have to do. Pause as they're both thinking and processing. Tristan, can I say something? Daisy sits up to listen intently. Tristan, I thought all of my firsts were done. And my lasts. I thought I'd had my last love, last relationship, my last first date, my last first kiss with someone. I thought I'd had those first feelings for the last time. You've given me more than I could have hoped for, Daisy. You've even made me feel that gut-wrenching, take me now kind of embarrassment. I didn't think I'd ever get to feel embarrassment like that again. I don't need a miracle cure. Daisy, might leave you yet. People get married and divorced in 4 years, you know. Tristan, you've given me so much. Truly, if you want to leave at any point, now or in a year or 2 years, then Daisy, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. Tristan, just don't ever look at me like a cat you're waiting to put down. I had a cat once, Oscar. He was the cat I grew up with. As soon as he was nearing the end, the whole family would only discuss when his time would come. It made it worse, like he was already out of the race before he got to the finish line. I had to keep reminding myself that he wasn't dead yet. He lived another 6 months. 6 months with the people he loved most looking at him like he was already gone. Daisy, hey, I might die first yet. Tristan, hit by a lorry ride on your bike. Daisy, I wouldn't be caught dead on a bike, so we're safe there. Tristan, maybe wrong choice of words. A short pause to think. Tristan, I don't want you to become my nurse. Daisy, well, good, because I'm not qualified for that. Tristan, always be my partner, never my carer, okay? Daisy, deal. Tristan, I wrote a song. Daisy, do I finally get to hear you play? Tristan gets up to grab his guitar. Daisy, wait, what if you're shit? Tristan, I didn't leave America because I was shit, so I hope you don't think I am. But I haven't written a song since I found out, you know, until I met you. Tristan sits with his guitar, but pauses. Tristan, I'm quite rusty. Daisy, it's fine. Tristan, and I've been crying too, so it probably won't sound. Daisy, just play it already. Tristan, it doesn't even have a title yet either. So Daisy, Tristan, play it. Tristan starts to sing acoustically. It's beautiful. They look at each other with deep emotion as we fade to a montage of the life they build together. Hair changes and seasons show time passing. Interior pub, breaking the news to their friends. Cut to Tristan introduces Daisy to his family. We hear Mum, Dad, this is Daisy as they embrace. Daisy, Tristan, Zoe and their friends cheer Jimmy on at football. The friend group laugh at the pub. Johnny brings Steve. The group attend Max's pretend birthday, shown by the summer weather. Tristan goes back to work. He's in the recording studio, recording the song he's showing Daisy. The song blends from solo acoustic to a more full band song as emotion builds. Cut to Tristan carries the Christmas tree and puts it in the corner. The couple decorate a Christmas tree in Daisy's flat. The friend group attend an 80s themed event Daisy's hosting. Daisy and Tristan buy a house. Tristan is visibly a bit thinner. Johnny marries Steve. Tristan smiles at Daisy. Tristan and Daisy go on a big holiday with beaches and warmth. They jet ski together. Another Christmas, Daisy helps Tristan carry the tree inside their home. Daisy and Tristan go to the hospital. They get gradually less adventurous and outgoing as Tristan grows more tired. The couple lie in bed enjoying DVDs and Daisy's vinyl record collection. Tristan sits up in bed and plays his guitar to her. He tries to teach her a few chords. Tristan and Daisy are getting married. Tristan is more yellow and thin. It's a small, perfect wedding with their core friends and parents only. Rodney, Max and Tristan share a cigar in the cupboard at the wedding. Tristan coughs lots and they laugh. Daisy, voiceover. Everyone talks about their first love, but your last love is even more precious because you realise till death do us part means that death will actually come between you. It's an insufferable realisation that you somehow have to learn to ignore it every day until inevitably it forces you to pay attention to it. We cut to one last Christmas. They only got 3, not 4. Daisy puts up a significantly smaller tree while Tristan is watching on the sofa with Mr. Ted the teddy bear. Daisy, today is that day for me. Cut to interior church funeral. Daisy's at a podium. The camera slowly zooms out to reveal she's all in black, reading a eulogy. Daisy, the day where I can't ignore it. Till death do us part. And it has. We reveal a photo of Tristan, clearly taken just before his death because he's visibly thinner, and his coffin. Daisy, we didn't get the 4 years. I didn't realise it would be my last Christmas with him. Life can be so unexpected in the cruelest of ways, no matter how much time you have to prepare. The unknown can also be wonderful. I didn't expect to find love that day, and I didn't expect it to be taken away from me. When you start things, you don't picture the end, and that's the way it should be. Part of the joy of life is, I didn't predict any of this. One thing is for sure, Tristan had a beautiful life, and so will we. Daisy steps away from the podium, heading back to her seat with her friends. She's holding her pregnant belly with a wedding ring on her finger. The beautiful life she will have is her child. At the funeral, we see Zoe with football dad, Estelle and Max are close, Johnny with Steve and Dolly, and Rodney too. As we fade to interior, the pub, it's the wake, and it's daytime. Lots of family and friends, stragglers around eating the buffet as it's coming to a close. The friends around the table, there's silence as they all aren't really sure what to say. Daisy, well, he'll need a new nickname. Johnny, who? Daisy, my newly deceased husband. Surely we have some good ones. Plane train never spoke to me again isn't quite relevant anymore, is it? Don't be shy, let's hear them. Johnny, how about Daisy Pusher? Zoe, he didn't push Daisy once. He wouldn't hurt a fly. They all laugh. Estelle, long distance Tristan? Steve, quite a long distance for sure. Max, couldn't go the distance. Johnny, oh, the ghost. Daisy, he did ghost me multiple times and now he is a ghost, so that's pretty genius actually. Cut to interior cupboard. Rodney enters. Max is sat in there already with the window open. Rodney walks in and reveals 2 cigars from his interior suit jacket pocket. He smiles cheekily. Max, we allowed to smoke here, Rod? Rodney, lucky for us, I know the owner. Rodney lights up their cigars. Rodney, how you holding up, lad? Max, it doesn't feel right. I keep looking around for him in the room, waiting to see his stupid face. I can't picture moments like this without him. I'm a coward, really. Rodney. How so? Max. I couldn't talk his service thing today. I couldn't bring myself to. I'm not emotional or clever like that where I can write something good enough for everyone else to hear. Rodney. It doesn't have to be good for anyone else, lad. Only what you want to say. But Tristan wouldn't have cared about that. Max. You're right. Since we're young, he was always the talker. You know, we met because we were neighbours. He moved in next door and his mum forced him to come over and invite me to play football in the cul-de-sac. Since then, he'd be able to talk us out of any shit we got ourselves into. Smashed Mrs. Gray's window once. He convinced her not to tell our parents. We did end up mowing her garden for the next 3 months, but it was a good deal. We grew up together. He was one of the only people in the world that I could be totally myself with. I could say anything. It would never put him off. I could be a total twat and he'd always stick with me. I'm not used to that. People sticking with me. And when he moved to America to become a big man songwriter, he'd still speak to me every day. Sometimes he'd send me one of those videos, you know, the send this to someone you miss type. I'd always write back, gay. If I was a gay man, I'd have married him in a heartbeat. I feel like I've lost the love of my life. Rodney. When we lost Jenny, lost, as if she's wandered off into the woods, when she passed, it felt like torture at first. But eventually it'll hurt a bit less. Like being homesick for a place you can never go back to. But we're lucky we found that home in Tristan and Jenny. For a while, it's hard to see the beauty in life without having that person to share it with. And then you realise you have to live for those that we've loved. Life suddenly means much more than before because you realise what you have to lose. Max. Thanks, Rod. They hug. Max. Do you want to be my new best friend? I have an opening. Rodney. Happily. When you get to my age, people around you start dropping like flies. The phone rings and do-do-doom, doom, 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 doom. They both chuckle. Rodney. Jenny would have loved you. Good-looking lad, rough around the edges. Max. What was she like? Rodney. Picture Kill Bill Uma Thurman with an English rose personality to the outside world, but a total potty mouth behind closed doors. A fiery woman, full of life. Max. Oh, lovely. They exit the cupboard. Cut to exterior of the pub, sun setting, golden hour. Dolly is outside the pub taking some time out, feeling emotional. A man comes from inside the pub. He's dressed in his funeral best. He starts getting out a cigarette when he realises Dolly crying. He shuffles closer. Man. You all right? Dolly. Oh, you know, something in my eye. Man. You don't have to do that. Dolly. Do what? Man. Hide it. Grief is hard enough without trying to mask it too. There's a brief silence as he lights up and takes a drag. Man. You know, I had to pull over my car yesterday. All because I saw a billboard for Snickers. Ever since he was about 8 years old, he'd carry one with him on any journey. And seeing that advert took me right back there. Right back there. 8-year-old Tris trying to snap it in half to share it with me. You never can tell when it will get you in the gut. When grief is going to appear. It just happens. It's natural and you can't control it. And the next thing you know, your vision's blurry, you're pulling over and you're blubbing like a baby at a Burger King. It's all part of the process. Dolly. Tristan quite literally sent you a sign. Man. Felt like a big fat middle finger to me. Probably because it's the first time in 2 weeks that I forgot he died. I let my guard slip for just a minute and suddenly it was like I was finding out he was gone all over again. There's a brief pause. Dolly debates sharing and eventually opens up too. Dolly. The last time I was in my Sunday best like this was at his and Daisy's wedding. I suddenly thought that was the last time I wore these shoes. And I hate these shoes. They're so uncomfortable. I don't even know why I chose them this morning. Man. They aren't even that nice. Dolly is shocked, but then laughs at this insult, looking down at her ugly shoes. Dolly, you're so right. They are ghastly. Whatever possessed me to wear these out in public? Man, at least your dress is nice. Saves it for sure. They both chuckle. He takes a drag and suavely leans over to her. Man, you're not a funeral crasher then? Dolly, a what? Man, you know, like a wedding crasher, where you look at the obituary in the paper, rock up at wakes for the free food and to prey on vulnerable men for sex. Dolly, no. Man, shame for me, really. They smile. Dolly, no, I'm Dolly, the best friend of Daisy, therefore by default, Tristan's girl best friend. Man, is that Dolly as in pardon or hello? Dolly, my mum loved Barbra Streisand. Man, an underrated musical. At least it got some love from your mother, myself, and that little yellow robot. Dolly, Wally had great taste. And you are? Man, I'm Christopher. Tristan is my cousin. Realisation on Dolly's face. This is the cousin that Tristan wanted to set her up with. Christopher, I suppose I should say he was my cousin. His eyes well. Christopher, you see, you never know when it'll hit. Dolly offers him a tissue from the pack she's been clutching. Christopher takes it and wipes his eyes. Christopher, just let it out. Christopher looks towards the sky, takes a deep breath and blinks in the light. Dolly, truthfully, I have been hiding it. I didn't want Daisy to have anyone else's emotions to deal with. I've given her the same advice as you just have me. I suppose I'm a hypocrite. I should let it out a bit too. Dolly puts away her tissues. Christopher throws away his cigarette. Christopher, drink? Interior, pub, table of friends. Max has joined the table again. They carry on debating nicknames for Daisy's dead husband. Estelle, what about instead of newlywed, newly dead? Johnny, plain train never spoke to you again is still relevant because I suppose he won't ever speak to you again. The table is now lively and in hysterics. Dolly rushes in, grabs her chair, and we see Christopher in the distance at the bar. Dolly, you are not going to believe this. Only I could have a meet cute at a funeral. Not ideal, but... Daisy, tell us everything. As the camera pulls away, we see Dolly telling her table of friends all about meeting Christopher. They are not subtle in turning and looking at him. Dolly, Tristan always used to say I should meet his cousin Christopher. I was outside getting some air when he came over and... As we zoom out, we reveal that the pub is called Rodney's and we fade to black. There are credits. I would love some bloopers or a classic dance scene at the end, a bit of a throwback. But that is my screenplay. I am now just going to talk about some of the characters and all of that. And obviously now I can speak openly with spoilers, which is great. Before you watch this section, please leave me a comment down below. What did you think of the script, first of all? Do you like it? Would you watch it? Secondly, who would you cast in each role? I do have ideas, but I'd love to hear yours as you were kind of hearing the story. What were you picturing? Who were you picturing? Firstly, the title. I love the title because I feel like it's a thread that follows through the whole script. It also kind of reminds me of another great film that I love, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I love it. Characters. I have purposely left it open and not described them because my only thing is I want them to be like 30 plus. The people like me who love these types of movies and rom-coms, like the throwbacks like Bridget Jones and things like that, are around my age. They're like 30 plus. I think that makes the most sense. I also think it makes the most sense for the characters and where they are in their lives. I don't want to describe the characters too much because I very much would like it to be open to anyone, any ethnicity, any body shape, any hair color, hair type, like anyone. I do have obviously my thoughts and what I was picturing while I was writing it, but I feel like that's kind of irrelevant. As long as the actors and actresses are good, then cool. For me, I would like it to be that the leading man isn't muscly, he's not ripped, like it's just not, I don't feel like that's the vibe of the thing. It can be distracting sometimes from the messages if they are too attractive. Don't get me wrong, I want them both to be attracted to each other and you can see that they would fit together nicely. I don't want it to feel like one is out of the other's league or anything like that. That for me is important. I don't want someone who's majorly muscly and things like that. I would love it if the friend group just feel like a genuine friend group. I do have some casting ideas. So I think that Christopher, the cousin at the end, who I had in my head was someone like Jamie Campbell-Bower. He could almost be the leading man as well, but I feel like he would fit what I want from Christopher straight away. Obviously, this is like the budget sky high. I can have anything I want on the soundtrack. I can have any actor and actress in the world. Like, yeah, I'm not Delulu. This is just a fan casting of my own thing. Rodney, now, so the dad. The most awesome reveal in the world from behind the shelves. If we could get Hugh Grant to play Rodney the dad, I think it would be genius. I think it would call back again to like where those of the inspiration came from, and I think it would be absolutely genius, hilarious. And I would love if he wasn't in any of the marketing at all. He just turned up and you were sat in the cinema like, it's Hugh Grant. So there's him. The other two people that I could totally see it being, Philip Glenister, who plays Gene Hunt in Life on Mars. I've seen him in interviews and stuff as well, and he just is Rodney to me. So yeah, Philip Glenister. And the other one is Alistair Petrie. Now, this is biased as well because I've met him in real life and he is just lovely, and I just think he would be an absolute pleasure to work with. He would be great at the role. Then in terms of the soundtrack, obviously throughout I mentioned a couple of songs. They're not make or break kind of songs. They are what I heard as I was writing it. I would really love Close to Me by The Cure to be the opening track, just because I feel like when you set the tone with such a banger, it's quite exciting then when you're in the cinema and you're watching a rom-com and you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna like this film just from the opening. So I'm hoping having The Cure playing, and it's like a really bouncy song. It's like dum 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 ba dum 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 dum, and you could cut the camera angles. It could go dum 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 bum bum bum, and you could cut like into, yeah, you get the thing. I've got a visual in my head. So we cut between the two main characters to see how different they are, see their different mornings, even though they're going to end up at the same place, which I think is so fun. Classic kind of thousands movie, kind of like, you know how like in Devil Wears Prada, you like flick between all the different girls getting ready, stuff like that. I just think that's really cool. I would like a lot of British music to be in it because I feel like this is a classic British rom-com kind of vibe, apart from obviously the country and western bit that needs to kind of have the American twist on there. I'd love to use some lesser known music and some more well-known music. I do have a playlist that I've already built with songs in mind. The song that Tristan sings that he's written himself to Daisy and all that, with the montage of them building their life together, myself and Nikon have already written. Me and Nikon write music as Ellie and Nikon, so we have already written that song, but it's not ready to show yet. Maybe that'll be the one thing that you'll have to wait until the film is actually made to hear that song. I would love the contrast of when they first meet and you think that they are gonna like get it on for the first time, and they're like really intensely kissing to Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet, something like that, that's got like a beat and it's quite fast. Or it could be like If You Wanna by the Vaccines, something like that, upbeat and fast, and they're just basically ripping each other's clothes off. It doesn't actually happen, but then the next time that they meet and it is happening, it's more soft and controlled and a really like thought out, more loving and intimate process. So it would probably be a more acoustic song that I do have one in mind for that. The general themes as well are obviously like love and friendship and loss, like living in the moment. It's also a film about how one person can affect so many other people. Tristan kind of meddles and makes sure that Max speaks to Estelle. Tristan speaks to Johnny about bringing Steve around the friend group, and then we see Steve in the friend group. We see him telling Dolly that she should meet Christopher, and then they do. And it's even more sad that it's at his funeral, at his wake. It's so poignant, and it shows the circle of life and the circle of love. Daisy talks about like how unexpected life can be. In the script, it's, for example, she says she doesn't want kids when she's sat with football dad, and then all of a sudden at the end we see her with a pregnant belly. It's the unexpected, and that's what makes life so joyous. That is what I've tried to achieve with the reveal that he is there for palliative care, is you never realize he's going to die because nothing is too suspicious. I know what he dies of. I've purposely left it so that you don't know. But the classic symptoms that you see a little bit like weaved into the script is throwing up, which he does, being tired. So when we see him in the storeroom, he's trying to catch his breath a minute. We see him sat with Johnny rather than dancing because he's tired. We see him suggest that they lie down and watch a film instead because he's tired. So all of these things that are actually weaved into the script that you pass off in your mind as like, that's totally normal. And so, yes, you're blindsided, but I feel like if you went back and watched the film again, you'd be like, there were hints. There are also many, many hints to him dying. So, for example, when they go to the kebab place, he pretends to die and she says, don't die on the first date. When they meet at the football field, she says, I thought you died of embarrassment. Tristan asks Estelle, why do you only have 2 years to find a guy? And there's a lot more weight to that when you watch it a second time. When Max arrives at the wedding, there's a bit where he says, are you all right? But he says it with a little twinge of, no, really, are you okay? And things like that are weaved in there, but obviously mostly you're blindsided. I assume. Let me know if you thought it was obvious, if you guessed the kind of twist, if you will. What I love is you could add extra funny visual things to the script. So obviously it's hilarious thinking of someone dressed as a sexy Kenny Rogers anyway. I think that's top quality humour. But things like you could have, because Daisy is in events, you could have it so that every time we see her, she's in a different themed outfit, like 80s or whatever it is, like, and so she always turns up and everyone just thinks it's totally normal that she's dressed in a different decade or something. I feel like I'll probably get questions, is this inspired by true things, is this real? Some of it, not the specific death or anything, like I'm happily married, but I do often think about what it would be like if Nikon did die, and so a lot of the emotion came from there, but the emotion also did come from my own loss and how it affected so many different people and family and extended people, and how it can just change your total outlook and perspective on life and everything. That's why I think it's important to see the bit where, like, Dolly is outside having a moment. She's valid in her feelings of feeling upset too, just because it may not feel as catastrophic to her day-to-day life as Daisy. It's still important that she can feel her feelings about someone who's had an effect on her life. So yeah, getting deep. But so if I was to put a collage together for our main characters, this is what I would do for Daisy and Tristan. As you can see, Daisy is a lot more she's very just orange, chaotic. Her kind of summary, I've said early 30s, band t-shirts. She can't keep houseplants. She's warm, away with the fairies, and works in events. Whereas Tristan's is like mid-30s, knitted jumpers, has alarms to remember to water houseplants. He's safe, kind, observant, and a songwriter. Daisy's outfits are very everywhere. She has like a style, but the style is basically oversized top and jeans. Then she's got like a cute tote bag and stuff like that. Whereas Tristan is very much more like together, a little bit more sleek, but comfy as well a lot of the time, like comfy jumpers. Friends-wise, Dolly, I'm picturing like a little bit more alternative, kind of darker punk looking but clean, so no kind of major like piercings or anything. I mean, it doesn't really matter, it's just what I pictured. No major piercings, but just a general darker aesthetic. But I love the clueless looking yellow checked trousers. I think that's a really nice nod to another film that I love. Estelle is very much pastel Estelle, very cutesy, very clean, more of a skirt wearer. Johnny is very, very well dressed. I just see him as very well dressed, not afraid of a pop of colour, but mostly like his trousers are good. Do you know what I mean? Like you won't catch him in jeans. Zoe is essentially the friend who is reinventing herself after a divorce. I want to make it very clear. I do not see her as downtrodden. She is businesswoman, practical. Like that's kind of the vibe. Like she'll go comfortable. So she'll wear flats and she'll wear like a skirt, but it'll be with a blazer. I feel like she would always have sunglasses on. She gives me a little bit of the mother from The Parent Trap. And then Max and Christopher, I'm not quite sure. I feel like Max needs to have the essence of a lad without being too laddie that it's like not realistic he'd be friends with Tristan. And then Christopher, obviously we only get to see one outfit, and I am picturing black turtleneck, long black coat, really cool, slightly long, basically Jamie Campbell Bower, slightly long hair, a little bit unkept, a little bit of like a rocker vibe to him, but obviously he like looks clean because they're at a funeral. So thank you so much for being here and listening to my rom-com screenplay. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Leave me comments. Let me know, how do you visualize these characters? What do you think of the script? It's not even really essential that it takes place in London. It could take place anywhere. And I just think that's really important as well. So that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe for more and I will see you very soon. Goodbye, guys.